временное перемирие, ну а что нам дает? Нам ничего не дает. Нам дает только возможность украинцам перегруппироваться, набрать силы и дальше продолжать то же самое. Было предложение стороны американцев, которое нам представляется вполне приемлемым.
А где возможное место встречи какое?
Но я пока не могу говорить, хотя оно, в принципе, определено.
Считанные дни, это значит уже на следующей неделе? Вы же сказали дни, а не недели.
Ориентировочно, да, на следующей неделе. Сейчас будем работать, как...
А вот Рубио сказал, что теперь есть что обсуждать. То есть сигналы наши какие-то.
Рубио прав.
I don't have a deadline. You know what the deadline for me is? When it's over. And I think everybody's tired of fighting at this moment. They're losing too many people. Well, we're having
Zelensky to come visit you.
We're having good. I don't know. He would like to come, but I think we should get a deal done first. We're having good talks. We started with Russia. We're having some talks with Russia. Ukraine is doing well. I think they're pretty happy about it. They'd like to see it end. And we won't know for a little while, but we're making progress. Well, that was just a map. All that was is a map. That was not a plan. It was a concept. And from there, they've taken each one of the 28 points, and then you got down to 22 points. A lot of them were solved, and actually very favorably solved. So we'll see what happens.
Do you think that Ukraine was being asked to give too much land back to Russia? I know at one point you said they shouldn't have to give any back.
It's really up. Look, the way it's going, if you look, it's just moving in one direction. So eventually that's land that over the next couple of months might be gotten by Russia anyway. So do you want to fight and lose another 50, 60,000 people? Or do you want to do something now? In some cases, the land is going in the other direction. So they're negotiating, they're trying to get it done. You want to have a border, you can't have a border that goes through a highway or a border that goes through the middle of a town, so that doesn't work. So it's a long, complicated process, and very sad because so many people have been killed.
What's the next step?
They're going to keep talking. They're talking to Russia now. Steve Witkoff is going over, maybe with Jared. I'm not sure about Jared going, but he's involved in the process, smart guy, and they're going to be meeting with President Putin, I believe, next week in Moscow.
Next week in Moscow?
I think so, yes.
What kinds of concessions?
This war could go on for years, and Russia's got a lot more people, got a lot more soldiers, you know. So I think if Ukraine can make a deal, it's a good thing. I think it's great for both. Frankly, I think it's great for both. But Ukraine's got it's a much smaller group of people. They've lost a lot of people. Russia's lost a lot of people, but Russia has a much bigger pool of people.
Mr. President.
I don't know what to think. Looking at what's happened, this doesn't feel much like a peace plan. It doesn't look like.
Do you believe in peace?
No, if I let myself believe that, then peace will come at a very high cost, the cost of our lives.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Tuesday that Ukraine was ready to advance a US-backed framework for ending the war with Russia, and discussed disputed points with US President Donald Trump in talks he said should include European allies. Underlining the high stakes for Ukraine, its capital Kyiv was hit by a barrage of missiles and hundreds of drones overnight, in a Russian strike that killed several people and again disrupted power and heating systems. Residents were seen sheltering underground wearing winter jackets, some in tents. US and Ukrainian officials have been trying to narrow the gaps between them over the plan to end the conflict, with Ukraine wary of being strong-armed into accepting a deal largely on Russia's terms, including territorial concessions. Kyiv's message hinted that an intense diplomatic push by the Trump administration could be making progress,
So I think we're getting very close to a deal. We'll find out.
but any optimism could be short-lived, especially as Russia stressed it would not let any deal stray too far from its own objectives.
Промежуточную.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said an amended peace plan must reflect the, quote, spirit and letter of an understanding reached between Putin and Trump at their Alaska summit in August.
Дух и буква. Анкориджа.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said on X that the U.S. had made tremendous progress towards a deal over the past week, adding that there are, quote, a few delicate but not insurmountable details that remain. French President Emmanuel Macron, in a call with a group of countries supporting Ukraine, known as the Coalition of the Willing, said talks were at a critical juncture.
The absolute condition for a good peace is a set of very robust security guarantees and not paper guarantees.
The 28-point peace plan that emerged last week caught many in the US government, Kyiv, and Europe alike off guard. The plan would require Ukraine to cede territory beyond the almost 20% of the country that Russia has captured since its February 2022 full-scale invasion, as well as accept curbs on its military and bar it from ever joining NATO. Conditions Kyiv has long rejected as tantamount to surrender.
Been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.